Texas A&M goes to Gainesville in kind of a cornerstone game for both these teams because, excuse me, we saw Florida play against a Miami team that's really talented. We saw A&M play against a Notre Dame team that kind of got. How good was the Notre Dame team? I still don't think we really know how good either of these teams are. If Florida gets them at home in a Billy Napier kind of a must-win game, and some injuries on the Florida side are making this really interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, a lot has been made of, Texas A&M going on the road or their lack thereof ability to go on the road. But obviously, this is a new coaching staff. This is the first road game for Mike Elko back at Texas A&M. And obviously, you mentioned the injuries there for Florida. Is Graham Mertz going to play? I mean, Lagway looked fantastic last week. Everyone saw his throws and the talent there. The cat's out of the bag. Obviously, we knew he was a stud, but to see him, do that, albeit against Samford, I get that, but was really, really exciting to see, especially after demoralizing. Is demoralizing the right word? It lost to Florida because, obviously there was some hype around Florida, even though it was a tough schedule. We're like, well, maybe we can steal one here at home against Miami. Who knows what can happen in September? And then you can kind of carry that into SEC play, but obviously didn't go that way. And Texas A&M also a team had some buzz in the offseason, a lot of optimism. And again, another kind of demoralizing loss, I think, in College Station. And both teams bounced back against some FCS opponents, and now they look to play each other. And both teams would not, they don't need a win. Well, okay, Billy Napier and Florida probably need a win. Texas A&M would really, really like one. I think it'd be very disappointing for both fan bases to lose. That's what makes college football so fun and so good because it does matter, man. These games matter to these fan bases, to these players, to these coaching staffs because, there's a lot riding on these games week in and week out. I don't know how I see this, man. I really don't. In my notes, I'm like, I don't know. I feel good against A&M for A&M and Elko to go against a true freshman. How well can Florida run the football? We saw Notre Dame have some success do that. Now, is Texas A&M's pass defense better because Riley Leonard made them look better, or is it just because that's the strength of their team? We like their secondary. We like what they can do in their versatility there. But again, I just have no clue. I mean, I just think A&M's more talented, and I think A&M's got a better coaching staff. So I'm going to go A&M minus 4.5. I do think that Wigman is going to bounce back, and so I'll take the points. I'll take A&M to win, but I don't feel good about it at all. And I don't know. I want to hear your thoughts on it because you're an A&M guy. You feel pretty good. You picked early in the season. You picked this game as a loss for A&M. Obviously, things have changed for both teams. So how do you feel about this?
Um, I actually think Graham Mertz gives Florida a better chance to win against A&M, and I think people disagree with that. Sorry, we haven't seen A&M bring down a quarterback yet, and a lot of that is based on scheme and quarterbacks being on time in their offense and in rhythm. I don't think Lagway is there yet, right? I think he's capable of making insanely explosive plays in the big play, and maybe that is what you need to beat Texas A&M here. But I kind of like Graham Mertz here. If I'm Florida playing against Texas A&M, I think he gives you a better chance to win. I think if he's healthy, I think they will play him. But I think uh, I think the fan base and the boosters would be pretty pissed if he went back to Mertz after the way Lagway performed this past weekend. Here's the other thing too. We both talked about how we were super high on the secondary of Florida and the talent there, and they got torched against Miami. Part of that was because Asa Turner got hurt, right? Come from Washington. Devin Moore got hurt on like the first possession as well. Well, maybe first or second, whatever it was. It's I don't know. Asa Turner feels like could be back. It feels like they might have just sat him out against the Samford game. I don't know about Devin Moore's status and where he's at, if he's going to play, because DJ Douglas has not looked good at all. That's kind of the matchup I'm concerned about. And the other thing I'm really concerned about, more so for the future of the season, but TJ Shanahan is going to be suspended for Texas A&M on that offensive line, and look, he's the third string center, right? If you end up losing Coley, that center who's already your backup center, who's actually played really well, if you lose him, you're going down to your fourth string center. You're going down to probably Funk, and I don't know if A&M's capable of handling that, especially because Florida's got some pretty nice bodies there on the defensive line. So at 4.5, I mean, I said it. I already said it to everyone I talked to, but like, if this spread hit 7 for some reason, I would be all over Florida. Um, I am gonna take A&M to winning cover at 4.5. I'm gonna do it, but I do not feel good about it. And this, I guess, is more reactionary to what I saw from Florida against Miami. They really just did not look good. And I think that Texas A&M, there's going to be an emphasis for Connor to be on time and fix these issues that he's had. He looked a lot better against McNeese State, but there were still some lingering issues. If he's not if he's not ready to go and playing at a high level, Florida will win this game. All right, that is what's going to happen. But I don't know. I think I'm going to regret picking that. I think Florida's secondary for some reason might just show up, but I think I'm going to regret taking A&M to winning cover. But we'll see, I guess, when we're talking about it here on Sunday. But I just worry about Jade Walker goes down early in the McNeese game. What's he going to be? Is he even going to be available? What does that look like there? Because otherwise, you don't really have receivers that are getting consistent separation, you know? I mean, the blessing, I guess, with Jade Walker going down is that Moose is actually getting snaps, right? And that's a guy who just like he's really good when he plays, in terms of his pass catching ability, not necessarily other facets of the game. But I don't know, dude. I don't know. EJ Smith might be out as well, which I don't think matters that much. But
Well, it's already your running back. You're already getting into your running back depth. Obviously, we saw the Terry Bussey. I don't know how much run he gets there, out of the backfield. But
Terry Bussey
you
didn't look
mentioned,
like he didn't look good as a receiver. Like he didn't get open, right? Like that wasn't like he's just not very polished as a route runner. So it's like it's hard to get him involved when he himself, despite his elite talent, right, it felt like he wasn't really getting any separation, even against McNeese State. So he's a developmental piece, right? I think
yeah,
people are expecting him to be a part of this offense mega early, and I mean, you saw him with a 65-yard touchdown against McNeese State on the end around a jet sweep. And I think that's kind of the way that you get him involved in the backfield, short screens and stuff like that. Maybe just on a straight go route, taking the top over the defense, but I don't think he's that polished of a route runner yet.
yeah. You mentioned that the Mertz conversation there. It's interesting. It is interesting because I think Lagway, if you go to Mertz and lose, like it's over. Like the fan base, the administration, I think they
Yeah,
will be absolutely done with Napier. But like you said, like he probably gives them the best chance to win, especially with Elko and them. The only problem I do have is I I mean Montrell Johnson had a 70-yard run against Miami. Other than that, they could not run the football at all. And
yeah,
yes, Miami's D line is awesome, but I think A&M's is pretty good too. And I know
but they've
Notre
struggled.
Dame got
They've
them a
str-
little bit.
and McNeese a little bit against the run. Those linebackers are not playing well right now.
So I guess we'll see. But I also wonder if Lagway can give you a little bit, just a little bit, with that run edge there, or maybe bring some packages with him in. I don't know. I mean, Cam Ward, he looked really good, but he also had all day to throw at times, and he does a really good job of extending plays. And Wigman does a good job of not taking sacks, or I guess avoiding sacks. But I don't know. Again, this is again a really really intriguing matchup. I'm just trying to figure out how Florida wins this football game. And like you said, it's Mertz getting the ball out on time and short routes and run after catch for guys like Eugene Wilson, right?
Putting Connor
DK.
Wigman in a bind, putting pressure on him.
Yep, that too. And being able to stop the run, making it one dimensional for Texas A&M. And M. And if you can't get separation at Texas A&M, like it doesn't matter where Wigman throws the football, he's not gonna have any place to throw it for you to actually, make some plays on the ball. It'll be interesting. I mean, we're kind of waiting on Noah Thomas, right? Cyrus Allen made some plays, but again, without Jade Walker, who has been I thought it was really nice at the end of last year. It could be a blessing in disguise though with Moose Muhammad. I love that. I love that. But yeah, I guess I am sticking with A&M to win and cover, but like you, I don't feel good about it.